I've got the day off today. I'm not very well, feel a bit crook, and I thought I would just go through my spray gun because it's been playing up. Problem is it's pissing out fluid. It's been leaking fluid for a long time. I'll hide over there. And that's it off there. And there. I'll just try and get this screwdriver in there. But so that's it there. So what I've got to do now is get a spanner to fit that section there and undo that one. This bolt here, or this nut here, is so big, like your normal shifter won't fit it. So what I just use this. This is enough to reach. This shouldn't be that tight anyhow. So that's enough just to undo that. What I actually have, and I've had these for a while because I have another spray gun in there that's had the packing kit put in it. But what I'll do is I'll put a kit in this one, then I'll pull that other one out and use it. So we have the genuine, the Wagner kit. So it's the 02900201 repacking kit. Now this would have been bought on eBay. So that's what I have in stock there. I have a couple of others. We have a Titan one, a genuine replacement parts for Titan. So it's the same one. It doesn't have the ball in it. Always try and carry spares. I'll take this hose off first. As you can see there, I've had a lot of paint come up inside. This whole section here, it's all covered in paint, of course. There is a grease nipple there. If your gun sounds a little bit crunchy, it could be that grease nipple. Now this is another one I did a couple of years ago, or a year or so ago. And inside here, there's a big thread, which is that one there, which you can't actually see. So if you can see that, that's that there. Okay, and we have packing inside here that we need to replace. So you can see all these things here, they all need replacing on this gun. So we have a piston that hooks up onto here, which is this one here, that hooks up in there, which we'll see shortly when we drop it around, and we can just disconnect that. Basically, so that's slipped in there like that. So what we got to do is we've got to, now once we've got it out, we've got to lift that up. That'll disconnect. We disconnect the wire there, and then this whole section will come out. Then we've got to get these packing out. Just got to get this. So that's the seals out. We just got to clean all this stuff. So we just got this packing kit here. Now we're going to put it back in the pump housing now. And I'm just using some silicone grease. Put a little bit of silicone grease on it. Around there, and around into there. Okay. Now you'll notice it won't actually go in. It's just, you can't just push it in. Gonna get your original nut. Put a bit of grease on the top of that as well, just so it'll spin. I feel the packing that's in there now all the way. Just going to leave that in there because that's going to stay there. Okay, so our packing's in. We're going to do the same over to this side. So if you think of this as a car piston, and we've got some grooves running down here, and those grooves will let the fluid run past, and we've worn these out totally here. So this piston is rat shit. So we're going to replace that piston with a piston I have in stock that I just had sitting in the shed anyhow, making sure it's the same one. A little bit different design, So that's a brand new piston. That's the old piston, side by side. And this one's already got a cage and everything in it. We've got to get this here out, and there's an O-ring inside that. Now it's hidden in there. I can't actually get to it even with a sharp blade. I can't hardly even feel it, but it's in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this up, and then I'm just going to get my pliers and I'm going to try and pull it out that way. So I'm just going to use my my heat gun. Every painter has a heat gun. Turn it up to the highest. Now I just took the O-ring off there. It might cause a problem. Just trying to. It's actually moving now. Okay, so that's it. So that's how we get that out. You can see the O-ring at the top there, and that's all the paint that was clogged into it. Yeah, so that's the bearing, the ball bearing that came out of it. It's in pretty good nick, really. I mean, it's got a few little things on it, but it's okay. Now we're going to be replacing it with this brand new one. So I've just taken all this out, got all that paint off. I'll just give this a little bit of a clean up. Side, so that's the side it came out of. I'll just slip that back in there. Sitting nice and firm. Put our new ball bearing in. Put our cage in. And then we've got to put our new O-ring in, which is this one here. And that one will go in there like that. That's, make sure it's nice and clean. We'll go in there and that'll seal it in. Go back to this pump housing. We can now screw this in. And that's all the packing done. And the ball bearing's done. Now the piston is another story. What we're going to do now, we'll just put this piston in here. Put plenty of grease on it. There's a push down. We're just going to use the old piston to give this a tap with. We took this O-ring here out when we heated it up. We'll put that one back on now. That doesn't come in the service kit. And we'll put all this back together. And hook up this first. Little phone line. Just goes in there like that. Plugs in, and then these little pins line up in here, and there's another little pin down the bottom there, and then that gets pulled in. This pump here runs up and down. That gets oiled by the oiler, which sits in here and oils this piston. So that's what that actually oils, is that piston there. That's what it's for. Sounds a bit dry actually. That's better. You can see why that needs the oiler. So when this oils, when this pump oil out, as you can see it, as we pump it out here, it'll just run down here and it comes in here and it goes inside on top of that piston. So that's how that works. And we'll just put him back in. It's actually a very important item. So that's basically the service on the Wagner 3.21. or in the Titan in this case, are the same gun. I think it's a Titan 440 or something like that. Not exactly sure. Now I'm just using silicone grease here. It's better. Didn't want to force it over that O-ring and break the O-ring. And it's got some O-rings there too. Pops in there like that. Goes up. Latches in with this gadget here. Let's just put our bypass rubber back on. Hook up some power. What happens? We turn it on. We get water. We've got water, we've got pump. Pump's working. It's all good there. So that's how you do a service on your Wagner 3.21 or a Titan 440. And it takes a little while, but the good thing is if you know how to do it, you can do it yourself. You have to pay somebody else to do it. What happens if you don't have to pay someone else to do it? You don't lose any downtime. There's no downtime.